What is up, guys? It's your boy J-Dog back with another video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the top 5 underrated NBA players. So before we get into the video, I want you guys to subscribe, like, and turn post notifications on so you don't miss any more of my epic J-Dog content. Anyways, let's get started. And first up, I want to talk a little bit about Keyonte George. Keyonte George obviously was drafted by the Utah Jazz, and lately no one ever really talks about him. I'm pretty sure Jazz fans would talk about him, but he is still young, so his valuable offensive skill is his ability to generate good off the dribble, and he has promising pull-up jumpers, especially from his mid-range, which is a key element for lead guards in the modern NBA. And I feel like his strength and body control can allow him to absorb contact and finish effectively at the rim. He can draw fouls, and he's just not a finesse player. He has the power to help lead his team and become the next superstar. But no one mentions him, so how is he going to be an NBA star? Well, people always say there's time to improve, but like I said, no one mentions him. No one talks about how good he could possibly be. But he's a very, very good player on the Rockets. But the other issue is they're adding a lot of other guards, so that's going to mess up his attention. He's not going to be able to get a lot of attention with all the other guards on the Utah Jazz. So, guys, what do you think he has to improve on? Let us know. But here is what I have to say about his improvement and decision making. And he has shown the ability to make sophisticated passes, reading pick and rolls, and he can find open teammates, especially as he matures his role. Early in the 25-26 season, which just started, he has shown major growth in his assist numbers so far and is averaging 9 per game, and he has lower turnovers. He had a lot of turnovers last year, so maybe he'll be better. Make sure not to lose the ball. Make sure to find his open guys and continue to help lead the team alongside Lauri Markkanen. Now, to accept his grown-up role, aka mature role, quote the idea from the Jazz organization about needing to grow up. His recent focus on teamwork is getting others involved. This shift from a me-first scorer to a team-first facilitator shows a significant step in maturity and his potential. Like I said, they probably don't mention him because they don't think he is mature enough to lead a team. But like I said, there's a lot he can improve on. He can one day become an all-star, and hopefully people can talk about him more and then say he's overrated. So that's another thing Keyonte George has been getting better at, and I feel like that can help him get more attention. His numbers, even the efficient ones, come from having to handle a heavy offensive load for a young team in the Utah Jazz. The older player on the Utah Jazz is Lauri Markkanen, but the rest of the team is pretty young, and Keyonte George is one of those players. So, like I said, I'm really excited to see how much he'll finish the season with, if he's able to help the team make the playoffs. And a lot of people talk about how the Jazz are terrible, but the one thing they don't talk about, like I said, is Keyonte George. But the most attention is from Lauri Markkanen, Walker Kessler, and now their new star, Ace Bailey. Next up, his inconsistent efficiency. In his early career, his overall field goal and three-point percentage have been lower than ideal, leading to the perception of his volume as a scorer. And he chucks too much. The efficiency is the primary reason he is not overly praised. He's often viewed as a negative defender, which means he does not defend at a good rate. And that's not going to help your team win games. And that's another reason why the Jazz just aren't who they are. But here is a summary of what I think why Keyonte George is underrated. So Keyonte George is underrated because he possesses the most value skill for an NBA elite shot creation and is rapidly adding high-level playmaking to his game. His low efficiency and defensive lapse is a high usage role. Observe the fact that he has the all-around potential to be a star-level lead guard. Once his decision-making and shot selection really mature, I think he can help the Jazz make the playoffs. Because the Jazz have not made the playoffs since Donovan Mitchell. So now that Donovan Mitchell's gone, it's time for Keyonte George to be the next Donovan Mitchell in Utah. So Utah fans, do you think he's underrated? Do you think a lot of people don't talk about him a lot? Let us know. Next up is Deni Avdija. So here is why he is also underrated. And this is his non-contender effect. For a large portion of his career, he played on the Wizards and Trailblazers. I believe he played his first 3 years there, or 4 years. And he was pretty decent on that team. But at the time, they did have Bradley Beal. And Bradley Beal always had the ball in his hands. And they always trusted him with the ball. Deni Avdija didn't get the ball that much, so he lacks a lot of national attention because he is not from America. He is from Israel. Surdakris focus on the idea that he might not have the isolation bag to be a true number one option on a championship team, which causes him to overlook his exceptional value as a number 3 or 4th player, a role where he's already elite. The most compelling argument is that Avdija is a two-way profile and is precisely every contender that's desperate. He's a 6'9 plus wing who can defend the opponent's best perimeter player. He can rebound and he can score efficiently without dominating the basketball. So that's pretty much it for Deni Avdija. But that's another thing, another player that no one talks about. So he has been scoring a lot of buckets, and he's been really good with the Trailblazers. And this year he's actually been helping lead the Blazers alongside Shaedon Sharpe, who we are going to talk about at number 3. So let's go to Shaedon Sharpe. Next up is Shaedon Sharpe. So Shaedon Sharpe is described as an incredible athletic wing with explosive leaping ability. He has a good NBA frame, standing around 6'5 to 6'6, with a near 7-foot wingspan, giving him the size and length of a typical shooting guard. He is really good, and like I said, to have a great wing span like that is just remarkable. But his finishing at the rim is dominant, and one of the best finishers in the league currently. Due to his strength, touch, and ability to elevate over defenders, one report noted his restricted area shooting was bordering on elite, leading the entire NBA in that area for shooting guards during a particular month. His three-point shooting isn't the best, but he is one of the best mid-range shooters in the NBA, alongside players like Damian Lillard, Jalen Brunson, and Shaedon Sharpe has developed as an advanced layup finisher and an NBA-ready arsenal of step-backs and gathers to create his own shots. His high ability is high ceiling. He has a potential breakout, and many people speculate he has a limitless ceiling and the talent to become a franchise player and superstar. He has been projected to become a 20 or 25 points per game scorer. Production as a primary option when he is given the ball at number one option or a play with the ball in his hands more. He is a production as an outstanding player, averaging around 20 points per game during stretches of his second year and reportedly averaging all-star level numbers in April of the 24-25 season. And I did forget to mention, he did play a little bit in the 23-24 season before he was out for the rest of the season due to shoulder injury. And he came back, and I feel like he got even more athletic. He was a very athletic rookie, which was phenomenal. He even guarded Kira Lewis Jr. He flew up and rejected his shot. That is crazy, especially for a rookie. Anyways, Sharpe is still a very young, just 22 as of the 25-26 season, and has played with remarkable composure for a player who missed his entire college season. He is a high upside mentioned alongside his young age and already solid production. So his three-point shooting efficiency has been a visible weakness, as he shot a low percentage in one season despite having a clean jumper and great touch. He is described as a streaky shooter who has tendencies to take too many difficult or lazy three-pointers. If he can raise his three-point percentage to above league average, his entire offensive game is expected to help the team win. And for his playmaking, he is underrated at his playmaking and his good decisions. He is not yet an advanced playmaker and has been criticized for being not super active or disruptive on defense. Occasionally, taking plays off is pretty good for him, but other than that, it's a lack of playmaking. And his opportunity, I think, is in his early career, he sometimes disappears when playing off of multiple other guys. There's a feeling that he could drive a competent offense if he is given more control. A potential for a great overall impact than his current role might be a show. So that is Shaedon Sharpe. He doesn't get a lot of attention, but only attention given is that he should be in the dunk contest. Other than that, no one really mentions him. And the craziest fact is that he went to college but never played a college game and was still able to make the NBA. That's remarkable. That's crazy. Next up is Immanuel Quickley. Now, Immanuel Quickley was a Kentucky superstar with a player named Tyrese Maxey. Tyrese Maxey gets a lot of attention, while Immanuel Quickley does not get a lot of attention. Quickley is a very good three-point shooter, though, and he particular is an off-dribbler and off-the-catch player, which is a highly valued skill in the modern NBA. He has a quick release and deep mid-range. He possesses one of the best floater games in the league. That's right, Immanuel Quickley is known for his floaters. This shot helps him score efficiently in the mid-range area, compensating for his size when going up against taller defenders at the rim. Immanuel Quickley is a 6'1" guard, so really short. But since becoming a full-time starting point guard with the Raptors, his assist numbers have seen a significant jump, showing his potential as a primary indicator, and he has demonstrated good court vision in the pick and roll and transition. He has really low turnovers, and he maintains a low turnover rate for a high usage guard, which highlights his efficiency and decision making him as a good playmaker. While his defense has been scrutinized at times due to his size, particularly in his latest stint as a full-time starter. Earlier in his career, especially under a defensive-minded coach like Tom Thibodeau, he was praised for his defense intensity, ball pressure, and high defense IQ. But in the 22-23 season, that's when Jalen Brunson joined the Knicks, which caused Immanuel Quickley to not score as much. But like I said, he doesn't average a whole lot during that year. Because, like I said, Jalen Brunson always had the ball in his hands, and Immanuel Quickley never was able to score as much. He was able to average points, which was good, but not a whole lot. And in the playoffs, he didn't do much because of, once again, Jalen Brunson taking over the team. He played another year with Jalen Brunson, only for a half of a couple months. He was then traded to the Toronto Raptors alongside RJ Barrett. But ever since he went to the Raptors, I feel like he has got better improvement on his playmaking, low turnovers, and he has become an elite shooter. Next up, his perception and context issues. Much of his standout play happened to the New York Knicks as a dynamic six-man of the year runner-upper. Now as a starter on rebuilding Toronto Raptors team, the spotlight is often elsewhere, especially with the team not being a playoff contending team just yet. His new contract size with the Raptors will put him under a great level of scrutiny, with some arguing he needs to consistently prove his worth with his starting role as a guard and his guard salary. His struggles to finish at the rim and sometimes is inconsistent with his shooting efficiency. He is highlighted because his current role demands him to be a primary creator and scorer, a jump from his previous role as a high-impact reserve. His recent injury issues also contribute to him not getting a full healthy season to showcase his growth. In short, Quickley's ability to score efficiently from deep is his excellent floating game and his growing playmaking capacity, making him a very valuable player for the Toronto Raptors with true worth and potential as a starting caliber lead guard, and are not fully appreciated around the league. So that's Immanuel Quickley. And then we're going to move on to our last player. Let's go. Next up, we're talking about Jaden Ivey. So here is his lack with the ball. So his pursuits of Cade Cunningham. With Cade Cunningham as the primary ball handler, there have been long-standing questions from fans and analysts about Ivey's fit alongside him. Particularly because Ivey is also a guard who needs the ball in his hands. He has had a lack of stability in his role, team direction, and surrounding talent, which can hinder consistent production and recognition. The team has sought to develop other players like Ausar Thompson as a playmaker and brought in players like LeVert for bench unit ball handling, which could limit Ivey's opportunity consistently to showcase his playmaking. There is a trend in the NBA where shooting guards who specialize in scoring but struggle on defense have a declining value. Ivey is often described as a score-first shooting guard. His defense is a significant area of concern and is often cited as a reason for his diminished value. As a modern NBA team highly values size, shooting defense, and versatility is the issue. So Jaden Ivey got injured on New Year's Day. He then came back on October 6th for the NBA preseason, and he hasn't played since. He currently got surgery for his knee. I don't know why. It said that he had discomfort in his knee. I don't know what that deal is, but that's another thing why Jaden Ivey can also be underrated. And like I said, no one ever talks about, no one says he's a good player, none of that. While he had a stretch of improved three-point shooting, 40% before his injury last season, which we just spoke about, his shooting efficiencies in tendency to be terribly inefficient have been noted, especially when his three-point percentage is closer to his earlier career marks, like 33%. So let's talk more about his injury. Ivey has been affected by injuries, including season-ending left fibula fracture last season after only playing 30 games, and a recent right knee arthroscopic procedure, which has caused him to miss the start of the current season. Missing significant time limits visibility and continuity. Without him, the Pistons were noted to have made the playoffs after he was rolled out for the season, which, while potentially unfair to Ivey, is a data point that can fuel the narrative that the team functions without him. Ivey is playing for his next contract, and there is speculation that he may not get a max extension due to the team's cap space situation. And his two-way eliminations, this uncertainly contributes to him being a hot name in trade rumors, suggesting his long-term place with the team is not guaranteed. Essentially, despite showing flashes of being a dynamic, high-ceiling player, particularly with his speed and athleticism, his perceived lack of two-way impact, his fit with his star teammates like Cade Cunningham and Ausar Thompson, and of course his recent injuries that have led to him being overlooked as a player. But other than that, those are the top 5 underrated players. You guys are welcome to comment down below who you think should have more attention on their ability. Like, who do you think should be the leading player on the team, and why you think they shouldn't be underrated, or why you think they're underrated? Comment down below if you think these players are underrated or overrated. But in my opinion, these players are underrated. So I'm hoping these players can get more attention. And if you're a Jazz fan or Blazers fan or Pistons fan or Raptors fan, let us know if you think your player is underrated, which I'm pretty sure you're going to say no. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. And if you want me to make a part 2 of this, you guys let me know. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. Anyways, it's your boy J Dog, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out.